back to work task in Sierra Fuerte, Chiapas. Hello there everybody and welcome to another special episode of SnowRunner here at OpenFed Gaming. I am the OpenFed. Today we are here at the helipad in the back to work task in Sierra Fuerte. We are moving north and we're gonna go and attempt to find the Mercer R230, which we gotta repair and refuel, and then we gotta deliver it to the Geothermal Station. Now we are in the Avenhorn A15 and I was not quite sure if we gotta drive the Mercer over or if we gotta tow it over or what we gotta do. So we're just kind of flying blind here. We're gonna drive over. We got the service module on the A15, the Avenhorn, and we know we've got enough repair points because we need 100 and some odd, and we only need a few liters of fuel, so we got enough to repair the Mercer R230. But then we'll have to see what we got to do next. Now this new map, this new region, Chiapas, and this here particular map, the Sierra Fuerte, is like you're driving in the jungle. It's absolutely awesome. The graphics are gorgeous. The tracks where you gotta drive are quite narrow and twisty and turny, so some of my big trucks might not be very useful here. So, which is one of the main reasons why I want to grab some of the vehicles that they offer in the new seasons, because usually the vehicles they offer are the optimum ones to use on that area. Anyhow, we're coming up to the Mercer just up here. Looks like he's stuck in a muddy, swampy water. I hope we can tow him out of there. Now we're gonna fuel him up, give him those few liters. And then we're gonna repair him. We've got lots of repair points. Okay, now we gotta get into the Mercer truck. Okay, well, it looks like we're gonna have to drive him there. Now, I'm not sure, but I would imagine you could tow him 3/4 of the way there if you don't like the way he drives, and then drive him the last little bit. However, that's not what we did. We're gonna drive the Mercer all the way there, and you're gonna find out, well, he's not the best truck at the moment. We're gonna repair that little bit of damage that we just did. The thing that you got to remember about the Mercer, the way we found it, it's a base model. It's got the smaller tires, the smaller engine, not such a great gearbox. You don't even have a high speed, and you don't have a high or low range on the low gear. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're just going to chug along here and see how we're doing. Now, we are about 3/4 of the way up the map on the right hand side, and we got to go a little bit further north where there is I don't know if it's a refinery or I don't know what it is. It's a big sand pit with pipes and stuff in it. We're gonna see it hopefully in a few minutes when we get out of this here mud hole. I think it's gonna be a real challenge trying to get this truck over to the Geothermal Station, because we got to get to the top here first, and then we got to go all the way across to the far left-hand side, of the map to get to where we got to deliver it. But if you hang in there, boy, I tell you, there's some secret passages, and yeah, it's a good trip, and we get a good vehicle out of it. Now here's that area I was talking about. I don't know if it's a refinery. I'm not sure what it is. I haven't heard anybody mention anything about it. But we got to go all the way around. We could have gone left here, but there's a pipe that goes across the road that's broken. And I haven't been here that long, so I haven't found the task yet that will repair that. So we got to go all the way around it. But instead of going around the whole complex, we're only going to go around half of it and then come right through the middle of it to come back up to the road where the pipe was broken. And the meantime, we just got to see if we can, well, we can't really avoid any of these here little watery mud holes, which slows you down every time you get into one of them. And not much you can do about it. Now, you do have the winch. I was trying to go for as long as I can. I've already used it once, but I try not to use it if I can, just to see how good this or bad this truck is going to be the way it is. Absolutely gorgeous graphics, a beautiful map. I've only been in Sierra Fuerte for a short while, but I'm already enjoying it immensely. Now, as we're coming around the corner here, you will see when we get down this little hill, the Mercer seems to do okay when he goes downhill. It's just uphill and deep sand and mud and stuff like that, right? So you're just going to have to bite the bullet and continue on until we get to our destination. Now, just up ahead around the corner is where we're going to turn left, and we're going to cut right through the middle of this field like I was saying. I'm a little impatient. You might think that I'm going extra slow to be careful, but I've got it floored. The whole way when I'm driving along most of these places, I've got it floored, and it just doesn't go very fast, which is it's a little bit too slow even for the overfed. That's okay, because it's corners like this one right here where you need to go really slow. But I'm sure that once we've upgraded everything, once we've got them unlocked, I'm sure she'll perform a lot better. Now here's where we're going to go right through the middle of that, what complex, I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure what it is. We're going to go right through the middle of it, trying to avoid some of these here muddy holes. It looks like they might be a little, we don't know, because even when you go through it, we're going so slow that it doesn't seem to make any difference. But anyhow, we're going to come up to our first little pipe overhang, and I've noticed that they have changed a few things in this season. Some of these here overhanging pipes in some of the other seasons, whenever you try to drive through it, the camera view would always bump you over top of it. And for some reason, in this particular map, it'll allow you to go through some of them, but not others, which is kind of strange. It's kind of cool when you're driving through one of these overhangs and the camera view just kind of follows it through, right? Just like that. It feels like you're walking behind them. Now, but by this one, I tried it before I made the video, and it bumped me over top. So, which is a little irritating when you're trying to watch the video, even when you're playing it, because you don't get the view that you want. Anyway, it's just something to keep in mind. Now, right over here, we're going to climb back out of this complex, and as you can see up ahead, up in the top part of the picture, the pipe is broken there. And actually, that's where we came down right there. We were only hundreds of feet away from where we are now. But just like rock slides and broken bridges and anything that obscures or stops you from moving down the road, all those areas should be fixed as soon as possible at the beginning, so that you can get other jobs like this done a little bit easier. Now, I wanted to get the truck, so I wasn't too worried about the path. As long as the path was track that I had to go was half decent, I wasn't too worried about it. And we're only just beginning. So that pipe is going to get fixed fairly quickly, I would assume, so that we can open the map up a little bit and make it a little bit easier for us. We are seeing a little bit more wildlife, like the parrots and the butterflies. So it is an absolutely cool map, I'll tell you that. I'm really enjoying this one. Now over here, once we get through this muddy area, we gotta make our way down the hill because there's a river or a body of water between the hill that we're on and the one that we gotta get to. So we're gonna have to cross that water down below somewhere and then climb back up again. But first we gotta worry about getting across the water. I'm trying to be extra careful because there's a lot of ridges in these tracks, and the truck does sway from left to right quite a bit. And when you go around some of these here corners, like this one at the bottom here, I got to turn it tight to the right. And when you go around those corners, especially when they're angled, it really makes your truck sway to one side too, which always, I'm always worried about flipping it one way or the other. But if you go slow enough, you'll be okay. Just like that. And we got a couple of trucks on the map here. There's an ANK civilian sitting there with a big fuel tank on the back, kind of helping out because there's not a lot of places to get fuel here. So we don't know how much more fuel it's going to use the rest of the way, so I figured we'll fuel it up before we continue on. Now these water crossings are always a little tricky. There's a few places where you can cross, and the best thing to do if you're not sure is get a little bit more of a top-down view. As you can see, you see where the dirt is, you can see where you're driving, where it's not too deep, and that's where you're going to have to go to try and cross the water. And then I don't know what the problem was with the Mercer, but the front end, I don't know if it was a little bit too low and it was hitting on the rocks over there. I couldn't get up, so I tried to reposition a little bit, and that didn't seem to work. It's okay, let's try it again over here. Wow, that didn't work either. Nothing really to winch on. I thought, okay, well, let's try it one more time a little bit over to the side and to the left. And if that doesn't work, then we'll winch on the other hunk civilian sitting out over there. Just like, as long as we can get those front tires up there, then we're okay. And we're on our way again. The Mercer doesn't go very fast, but he seems to keep chugging along. He's got some pretty good low-end power that keeps him moving. I'm just hoping that it's going to be just as good with an improvement, of course, once we upgrade the motor and transmission. But for now, we still got to deal with it with an underpowered truck here. We got to try and climb a hefty mountain up here. Now, as you know, in SnowRunner, a lot of times when you're going somewhere, there's 1, 2, or 3 different ways to go, and sometimes the 2 routes are right side by side, where it looks like one side is a detour. And with situations like that, I found that most of the time, not always, but most of the time, the easiest route is the worst one. That's where they hide all the little tricks and all the little mud pits and stuff like that. So if I see 2 routes, I usually opt for the one that looks like it could be a little bit longer, and that might be more difficult, but it ends up not being that way. But you go to the one route, and if that one doesn't suit you, next time you go the other route. Now, another thing, gates, fences, none of them seem to make a difference in SnowRunner, unless, of course, they're made out of cement. Cement fences you can't knock down, but this one here, like the wooden gates up here, somebody forgot to leave them open for us. Well, just give them a gentle nudge and they go down just like the chain link did just a few minutes ago. Just like that. Now, those 2 routes that I was telling you about, just up ahead here, as we get to the top of this little climb, there's a big rock, and you can either go to the left or you can go to the right. A big rock with the trees on top. It'll be better. It'll be visibly better in a second here. Now you can see I left my Tuz sitting up there just as a reminder, don't go down this one, because this is where the mud pit is. Now, is it deep and can you get stuck in there for a long time? I don't know. I don't know. It is shorter than the route that I'm going, not by much, but it is shorter. But I'm not taking a chance on that, because if you look over there, that water hole looks pretty long, and there's no place on either side to go to get a little bit of traction. So I decided to go this way, and it seemed to work pretty good for me. If anybody is taking that other way and thinks it's okay, leave a note in the comments below and let me know. I prefer to take this route, and as you can see, slow and steady wins the race. No issues, just a climb. That's it. And the good thing, again, once you're up top here, you know you're going to have to start coming down sooner or later, and that is usually just a little bit more of a steering issue than a throttle issue. Now, when I got to over here, I wasn't quite sure which way I had to go, whether I had to go left, but of course, if you go left, you're going to go back to that water pit that we just decided not to take on the route. So, I'm going to go forward, to the right. There we go. And up ahead here too, where you gotta go from the one rock to the other, keep in mind that front end doesn't like to climb onto rocks, so you gotta have something that's a little bit smoother. And the angle on this rock, I was a little bit over too far to the left. I should have gone a little more to the right. And then it'll climb up there. Little things that can be a big pain, and they're so easily fixable if you just take a second and check it out. Then we just got to climb straight. And some of these here, it doesn't seem to make a difference where you climb, you just can't seem to make it all the way up. That's when Mr. Winch comes in handy. Like I said, all we need to do is get those front tires up there, and then we're okay. Now when you get to this area, there's, again, 2 ways to go. You can go right through the middle of it. I don't know where the track to the left would go, but there's a track to the right that goes around this whole rocky area. it's a lot longer, and it's got a couple of really tough spots. This way, it looks really bad when you look on the little mini map, but it's not. It's actually quite easy, and you know, I'm glad I tried to go this way. Check it out, because it made delivery. I probably saved an easy 5-6 minutes anyhow by not going this way around. Just you gotta take your time. Well, you're gonna take your time whether you like it or not going through this. There's a couple of little areas like this, little watery hole, but you use your winch and pull your way through best you can. Just like that. Now, I could have pulled onto that tree with the winch, but then it would have pulled me to the left, and I didn't want to go to the left because I want to go to the right hand side here. Just climb straight back out. See, now that detour would have gone on the right hand side of all those rocks all the way to the end and all the way around. We only have to go to right here, and we're going to take a left here and go through the middle. As you can see, the little spyglass is on the screen and it's pointing to the left, so we really didn't want to go any further along anyhow. Now, your bigger trucks might have a little bit of trouble getting through these areas because they're quite narrow, but you could ride on the rocks with one set of your tires on the one side, I suppose. Now, this is just a short little distance. Some might think, why would you go through here? But it's just a short little distance, and you're at the complex of the Geothermal Station already, at the north end of it anyhow. Every once in a while you get stuck with some of those rocks, but if you're persistent, you'll get through it. They place some trees there for us to winch our way through if we get into trouble. And here I'm just going to go left. You could go either way. I go left because over on the left hand side there is a service station area, and I just wanted to show you that anyhow. Which is nice to know if you're ever at the or near the geothermal station and your vehicle's got a lot of damage. Just stop in and get it repaired before you continue on your journey. Just right up ahead. Hey, the Mercer is still chugging along. It still hasn't sped up any. But we're slowly getting there. Now it just repairs the truck supplies that I had, that I used. And just up ahead there, beside the building, is where we're going to deliver the Mercer. Awesome video. Absolutely awesome. I can't wait to get the Mercer into the garage and outfit it with all the latest upgrades while we tumble through one more set of chain link fencing here. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the video and hope you got some tips out of it. Maybe it'll help you get the Mercer for yourself. Until the next time, we've been driving in a Mercer 230, delivering it to the Geothermal Station here in Sierra Fuerte, Chiapas, with me as your driver, the Overfed.